Today I'm going to show you a super easy 2-ingredient way to make your own homemade yogurt. Now, my family eats a ton of yogurt, and I always felt like I was spending so much on it, so I did a little research and I found this recipe that I absolutely love. There was no turning back. I make so much yogurt that I use an entire gallon to make my yogurt. It usually lasts a family of 5, 2 weeks. I have made it on the stove and in the crock pot. This is the easiest way because you just kind of turn it on, set a timer. The stove, you kind of have to pay more attention because it's a quicker process because you're working with the high heat. Okay, so I have a 6-quart crock pot and it should do just fine with my gallon of milk. So I choose to use whole milk because I like how thick it is and creamy. First step is to just add your milk to the crock pot. I'm going to turn it on to low, and then I'm going to start a timer for 6 hours because I'm doing a gallon. If it was a half a gallon, it would be the 2 hours and 45 minutes. I want to make sure that the liquid reaches 180 degrees. And then I'm going to take off the lid and I'm going to let it sit for probably about an hour to cool down to 110. Okay, now that my yogurt has cooled down to 110 degrees, I am going to take 1 cup and I'm going to scoop it into this little bowl. There will be a little bit of a film, but it does not affect the yogurt anyway. So I'm going to pour 1 cup into this little bowl. And I'm going to take pre-made yogurt that I bought from the store, and I'm going to take 2 tablespoons and incorporate it into this little bowl first before I pour it into the big bowl of yogurt. Instead of doing a circular motion to incorporate the yogurt into the milk, it's been more beneficial to do a front to back and then a side to side. And when that is all mixed in, go ahead and pour it into your big batch of yogurt. And do the same motion, the plus sign, front to back and then side to side. So now that I've incorporated the pre-made yogurt into my liquid, I'm going to put the lid on, I'm going to wrap it in a beach towel, and I'm going to put it in my oven. And I'm not going to turn my oven on. All I'm going to do is turn on the light. It keeps it warm enough, but not too warm to heat it up. That's what it needs for the probiotics to reproduce and turn it from milk into yogurt. Now, I leave it in the oven for about 12 hours. I usually do it overnight because I'm not going to be cooking in my stove, and I usually put like a sticky note over the controls to the oven so I don't accidentally start my oven. When the yogurt is done, I take a large bowl and I put a flour sack towel in it, draped over, and I pour the yogurt into the bowl. And what this does is strains out all of the excess liquid to make it a thicker consistency. So I tie all 4 ends into like a hobo sack, and then I tie it up on my cupboards. But for this video, I'm just gonna do a bar. And I let it drain for about a couple of hours until it reaches the consistency that I want. I squeeze out all of the excess, and you can use the liquid if you want in like shakes and things, but there's so much of it generally, I don't use it all. So when it's done, you pour it out of the flour sack towel into your Tupperware that you're going to store it in. Now that the yogurt is done, I like to sweeten it as soon as I put it into the serving dish because I don't want a ton of yogurt that's flavored in case I want to use it in a sauce or a milkshake or something else like that. So as soon as I put it into the serving dish, I sweeten it with honey. And then I add fruit. I can do that with fresh fruit or a jam or a jelly that's already been sweetened. And in that case, I just leave out the honey. You can also pre-make little containers if you want for like lunches or storing in the refrigerator. I like to use these little jam or jelly jars, and what I do is I put fruit in the bottom and then the flavored and sweetened yogurt on top.